The Tvwan News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. I'm Carol Kido Jr.
And I'm Rex Lita. Thanks for joining us for the news.
In this edition, Nama not satisfied with Marape's response, 3 police officers dismissed, and PNG HIV rate alarming. Member from Vanimo Greenbelt and Nama is not satisfied with the answers provided to his questions by the Prime Minister James Marape. Nama yesterday queried the national government's plans and policies to addressing law and order issues in the country, citing the recent killing of men in Wapinamanda of Enga province.
Prime Minister James Marape in today's session of Parliament provided answers to a series of questions posed to him by the member for Vanimo Green, Belt and Nama during Tuesday's sit-in. Prime Minister Marape said it was in the interest of the national government to improve law and order in the country, and despite having a police force of only 6,300, the government is making all efforts to ensure law and order is maintained nationwide.
We are trying our absolute best to ensure they're resourced and to put fire out in where law and order problem prevails, and to ensure the rest of our country is maintained in as law and order is concerned. Our own government's focus is to ensure training of police is being run all the way until we build our police force to a 10,000-man police. Today, as I speak, 500 police recruits are being trained in Bomana. Mr. Speaker, needless to remind, but for our country's memory, we have never had a systematic training for in as many years. The previous administration tried to bring back our training in and around 2018. It started there, but that is to ramp up our police men and strength. This year budget, over 200 million kina has been put to police. Last year budget, over 200 million kina has been given to police. Combined with the BSA we've signed with the Australian government, we're looking at this year alone and going forward close to $1 billion kina worth of resources in the medium term that will mobilize to get police training, police resource, police equipment being given support, CIS support, ministerial services support, so that within the life of this medium term, MTDP4, we get to make some serious progress in the law and justice sector.
In a press conference right after the sit-in today, member for Vanimo Greenbelt and Nama was adamant that his questions were not adequately answered by the Prime Minister's responses.
I asked him for simple thing. What is your policy on arresting the law and order situation in the country and the tribal warfare that's going on? That's spiraling out of control. He never answered any one of my questions. Where are we headed? I wanted the Prime Minister to come to the floor of Parliament and say, my government is going to do this and do that, and go hard on these people. 70 people now, that death toll has gone up to 70. It's not a small number.
Furthermore, SCP Governor Alan Bird expressed disappointment in the national government's responses to recent crisis that has plagued the nation.
When there was that kidnapping, and I think they killed about 24, and they captured about another 16 or 20 girls, and they were constantly raping them. Remember that story? At that time, that should have been enough for us to respond and build the capability. At that time, we didn't do much.
Meanwhile, Police Commissioner David Menin confirmed on Monday that additional security personnel were deployed to the Wapenamanda area following the tribal fighting on Sunday. Maricela Kelaton, TV1 News.
Raikos District in Medang Province is the second district in the province to submit its 2022 District Support Improvement Program and District Support Grant Acquittal reports to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development on Monday, 19 February 2024. The first district in Medang Province to submit their report was Usinobundi District. The reports were presented by the District Finance Manager of Raikos, Samang Balim, on behalf of the Minister for Labour and Employment and member for Raikos, Kesi Sawang. Balim said the reports covered the income and expenditure of funds that were given to the district for 2022. 3 policemen attached to the NCD command were dismissed from the police force after they were found guilty of committing various offences violating the PNG Royal Constabulary's Code of Ethics and Conduct.
The 3 police officers are Constable Smith Cobb from Badili Police Station, Constable Michael Combi from Baroko Police Station, and Chief Sergeant Parfrey Penny from the Southern Division Command. Cobb was dismissed for allegedly consuming methamphetamine on 19th of June 2023. Constable Michael was dismissed from assaulting a female detainee inside a Baroko cell on June 10, 2021, and Chief Sergeant Parfrey Penny was dismissed after the district court found him guilty of assaulting his wife on 2nd of March 2021. NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Silva Sika said complaints of unethical conduct by police keeps rising and has prompted the NCD Metropolitan Investigations Unit to examine all allegations. He said the Metropolitan Command has staged numerous disciplinary parades within the 3 policing zones over the past few months in efforts to restore and maintain discipline in the force. Sika warned members of the Metropolitan Command to uphold good values and ethical conduct at all times when conducting their duties. He said when a police officer abuses the uniform they wear, they can lose the trust and confidence of the public, and this can have adverse consequential effects on the role of police in the country. He added that the Internal Investigation Unit will continue to investigate reports of police ill discipline, and members found to be abusing their status and power will be reprimanded or dismissed. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
The Rabaul District has announced the 2024 Tertiary Tuition Fee Subsidy Program aimed at supporting tertiary students in the district. An allocated sum of 1 million kina from the district's DSIP former year's budget has been earmarked for this important initiative. The Rabaul District Tertiary Tuition Fee Subsidy Committee shared detailed insights into the program's purpose and outlined the essential requirements for interested students, parents and guardians. The program will assist the district's elite students in pursuing higher education opportunities. The funding disbursement plan was outlined with 45% allocated to PNG government universities, another 45% dedicated to colleges, technical and vocational education and training institutions, and private establishments, while the remaining 10% is designated for administrative purposes. The mainstream media in PNG has been called to help share stories of HIV and AIDS epidemic in the country. UNAIDS Regional Director for Asia Pacific and Eastern Europe and Central Asia regions, Eamon Murphy, made this call during a visit to PNG to help raise awareness, mobilize action, and advocate for urgent measures to address the growing HIV crisis in the country.
On the occasion of leading to Zero Discrimination Day on 1st March 2024, Murphy revealed alarming rates of HIV increases in the Asia-Pacific region. The estimated new infections in PNG in 2022 was 6,500, That is 18 new infections per day. Of the 72,000 people living with HIV, 43,816 are on ART and 1,100 AIDS-related deaths.
We need to get the message out very loud and very clear that HIV is far from over in Papua New Guinea. In fact, the epidemic is growing at alarming rates, and that's a serious concern for us.
He said PNG is one of the 3 countries in the Asia-Pacific region that has an alarming high rate in HIV.
When I look across Asia and the Pacific, I have 3 countries that stand out in particular in this part of the region. That's the Philippines, Papua New Guinea, and now sadly Fiji as well, right, with rising epidemics of significance for us. And in a country like Papua New Guinea, how does that translate? We have a 131% increase in the last 10 years, since 2010, the last 14 years. So we have 72,000 people living with HIV here in Papua New Guinea, and we don't have the level of treatment required, right? And the systems to support the taking of that treatment.
Murphy acknowledged the government's response in changing the treatment regime of the type of drugs to reduce the risk of resistance to treatment. He also commended the government for other programs. However, despite all these efforts, he said the rates are still increasing each year and not going down, though globally there is a major decline in HIV.
With 18 new infections a day here in Papua New Guinea, we have a serious problem, right? And that needs a combination response. It's not just the health ministry that needs to respond to this. We need all levels of society, all levels of government engaging in this. We need the Ministry of Finance to make sure the resources required by health and the other partners are there in place in the right times and the right locations.
Murphy emphasized the need to scale up HIV testing, including self-testing and community-based testing, especially among key populations and young people. Knowing one's status is crucial for early intervention and prevention. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. After the break, empowering Tutu Learning Center. That story and more when we come back.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Open X.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
Mio TV. All right, Mika.
The martial arts have been practiced for centuries. Forged out of an ancient Asian world of mayhem and intimidation. But in fact, they're all about self-defense, discipline, and honor. This is XMA, the world of extreme martial arts.
Watch Extreme Martial Arts, only on Fight Sports.
Welcome back. 2 students from the Samarimura district in Milne Bay were among those who graduated from the Pacific Adventist University on Tuesday, 20th February. Gloria Cool graduated with a bachelor's degree in general nursing, and Sheba Koibi graduated with a bachelor degree in biology and science. The successful completion of their studies was made possible over the past few years with the support from Samarimura District's School Fee Assistance Program, an initiative of the member for Samarimura, Isi Henry Leonard, through the District Development Authority. Both women are now looking forward to returning home to their district and province to help serve where they best can in their respective fields of study. The Kokoda Track Foundation today launched the Paritarama Food Program for 2024, enabling the easy access to this service by the Motu Koita students. The event was hosted by former politician Dame Carol Kidu at the Tutu Library Multi-Learning Center, Tarama Beach. Today, the Kokoda Track Foundation marked a significant milestone with the launch of the Paritarama Food Program for 2024. Hosted by former politician Dame Carol Kidu, the event was attended by notable figures including the CEO of KTF, Dr. Genevieve Nelson, Motu Koita Association Chairman and Deputy Governor of NCD, Dari Toka Jr., and other distinguished guests pivotal to the center's construction and progress. Dame Carol Kidu expressed her long-standing commitment to establishing the Library Learning Center at Tutu to serve the marginalized Motu Koita community. Despite the center's scheduled opening in March, registration for the food program has commenced, signaling a collaborative effort with the KTF to offer essential educational opportunities. Dame Carol also highlighted the upcoming courses by Guinea-Guada to provide a practical alternative for learners.
For several years now, I've been working towards getting a library learning centre established here at Tutu on Saburi's land to serve the local community, particularly the Motu Koita, because they've become very marginalised. The centre's not open yet, it'll be open in March, but we want to move ahead because it's time to start the FODE program, and I'm really, really happy that Kokoda Track Foundation are making a partnership with us to run the FODE.
Dr. Genevieve Nelson emphasized the importance of the newly launched center in expanding educational access. With an anticipated intake of 75 students, the fully subsidized food program includes comprehensive support such as tablets for curriculum storage, teaching resources, mock exams and exam preparation.
And we're here today at Tutu Beach launching the new Pari Food Centre. So we're kicking off with registrations. We've had people turn up from the local communities who are keen to enrol in their food studies. KTF, we run FODE in 13 other locations around Papua New Guinea, and we're really, really excited to be opening a new centre here in Tutu today.
Dari Toka Jr. in his brief address was grateful to see applicants registering for a chance to educate themselves in this vital initiative.
Whether I'm a politician or as a private citizen, I think I will always still be putting my support and any resources behind this facility here and making sure that it delivers what it needs to deliver with the objectives of Dame Carol and her vision. And her vision has always been a good one, and it's not just a good one for Motu Koita, but she's done it for the country. She has already done the heavy lifting for the country, Now she's coming back to do the heavy lifting for our people.
Education remains pivotal to Papua New Guinea's future, with KTF prioritizing investments in teacher empowerment, school infrastructure and inclusive learning environments. Aligning with the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, KTF aims to foster a generation of confident and empowered learners across remote and rural regions. Meantime, during the Food Center launch at the Tutu Multipurpose Learning Center, representatives from Atlas Steel and SBS Electrical were present to give their addresses, being the driving force behind the successful construction and maintenance of the center.
All the switchboards, the lights, the ceiling fans and a few air cons for the centre. And I know it's an ongoing project and we'll try and help out as much as we can where we can. But it's really good for what Dame's doing with the community here for Armour, and we're more than happy to help.
I'd like to thank Dame Carol Kitty on behalf of Atlas Steel for bringing us in on this project. Also, to consider us in the future, we're here to stay. I'm sure Priya will appreciate me reminding you that if you need anything else and we can assist, please come back and see us. Thank you.
And now the finance news. The Kina closed 1 point lower at $0.2663 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2588 US, $0.3924 Australian dollars, $0.2319 euro and 38.48 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, cocoa, crude oil and copper closed higher, while coffee, copra and palm oil closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed lower and all ordinaries closed lower as well. Stay tuned, TV1 continues after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Add your kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
Number One Super wants members Super to last as long as possible in retirement. With Number One Super's retirement savings account, you get regular payments while the balance remains invested and continues to grow, helping your super savings last longer. It's like still getting paid, even when you stopped working. Number One's retirement savings account. Contact us today to find out more.
More clean, more sweet. Flame natural white sugar. Make more.
Starting this scale yard want a chancellor with him scaled school money blow all pickinini. Scale rise he give him 200 chancellor with him 1,000 kina scaled school money. Buy him any scale or scale or rice product, write his full name, na mobile number, lo backside lo receipt, na put him inside lo entry box inside lo store. He got promotion term na condition too.
Skull Rise,
the grain changer.
After a series of tragedies, Buffalo Airways is gearing up for a comeback.
Got your seatbelt on?
Get ready for aviation drama,
My head's gonna explode now.
You prove to me that your accusations are right.
icy challenges, and thrilling rides.
Not right, we're going around.
Props are going to be flying everywhere.
This is not good.
Don't miss the excitement in the skies.
Here we go. Everybody's ready?
Ice Pilots NWT. Streaming now on Outdoor.
See the toughest fighters in MMA in a whole new light.
I had to show my true heart.
MMA 30 is your window into their lives.
These are my horses, my childhood house.
My judo is a huge asset for me.
An exclusive all-access pass.
We're here for his bachelor party.
With your favorite stars of the sport.
I want to be known as one of the greatest.
Watch MMA 30, only on Fight Sports.
Welcome back. To overseas news, the United Nations World Food Programme has paused deliveries of food to isolated northern Gaza because of increasing chaos across the territory, hiking fears of potential starvation. Entry of aid trucks into the besieged territory sharply declined by more than half in the past 2 weeks, according to UN figures. Overwhelmed relief workers said deliveries and distribution were crippled by Israel's failure to ensure convoy safety amid its bombardment and ground offensive, and by a breakdown in security with hungry Palestinians frequently overwhelming trucks to take food. A study by the UN Children's Agency, UNICEF, warned that 1 in 6 children in the north are acutely malnourished. 2 years ago, Brisbane was swamped by record-breaking rain that pounded the southeast Queensland city for days.
Living in limbo.
The flood was a breeze. Dealing with the insurance has been the most traumatic thing.
Back then, she was uninsured and had to pay to rebuild the home herself.
I have to say that the 2011 floods was a much easier process.
Since then, she's had flood cover, yet Woolworths Insurance won't fully fund repairs. Quoted at $300,000, the insurer will cover just a third.
The insurance has quoted $150 to replace this area, to replace the toilet, which is ridiculous.
Exhausted, she's conceded defeat, accepting the offer to make the home somewhat livable. But flood victims are being urged to go to the Ombudsman if their insurer's offer falls short.
People have certainly been successful in getting significantly more money in a lot of cases than they were initially offered by their insurer.
Data shows 7,000 claims from the 2022 event are still open as the federal government reviews the response of insurance companies. Brisbane resident Scott Cunningham has found the claims process overwhelming.
I've employed someone to help me through this process.
This used to be the bedroom, but in this state it's more of a garden shed. The Insurance Council of Australia says not paying for cover puts homeowners at risk, but waiting for repairs for 2 years is costing people more than money, causing physical and mental impacts.
To have to be medicated and just have to rely on other people, pretty tough, yeah.
Since the ABC contacted insurers Woolworths and Suncorp's Amy, both have apologised for the delay and verbally increased their offers by tens of thousands of dollars. While negotiations continue, the homeowners must keep paying for cover.
I would never have flood insurance now. It is not worth it.
Canberrans have rushed to the defence of the capital after the Queensland Premier described the city as an awful place.
What are some of the institutions in Canberra? And for a certain part of Canberra, Mooseheads is an institution.
Shane Rattenbury suggested Stephen Miles check out the capital's nightlife after he gave Canberra a spray.
Canberra's an awful place. Who'd want to go to Canberra? Why would we send our best athletes to Canberra when they could be here in Queensland experiencing the superior weather here, the great lifestyle and of course the fantastic economy, which means that they can have jobs for those who are still working too.
But according to the latest ComSec State of the States report, the ACT actually ranked in 6th place for economic performance above Queensland, with an unemployment rate of 3.8% compared to the Sunshine State's 4.4% this quarter. And while many have pointed to other visible drawcards for the capital, those who make a living from promoting the capital's greatness are encouraging the doubters to get behind the vibe.
I think people are often surprised at the number of really pivotal events in our country's history that have taken place right here in the National Triangle. And it's always a pleasure to tell people about, these stories of, the humans, including Dorothy and Enid behind me here, who have shaped Australia as a country.
Whatever the Queensland Premier's opinion, the Commonwealth's call is that the AIS is Canberra's for keeps.
Anti-doping investigators have accused Melbourne Demons forward Joel Smith of trafficking or the attempted trafficking of cocaine.
New anti-doping rule violation allegations, 3 of trafficking and 1 of possessing cocaine, are actually in addition to that allegedly positive drug test that Joel Smith returned after he played with the Demons against the Hawks back in means that he won't be able to be part of Melbourne Football Club's program, including the pre-season training, which is currently underway. Now, we do know as well that the AFL is suggesting that these allegations could eventually be heard by the AFL's own anti-doping tribunal in the coming months. And we don't know that much about the trafficking allegations, but we do know that this possession of cocaine charge relates to the 9th of September 2022. So that actually backdates his provisional suspension over that alleged positive drug test by almost a year. The Melbourne Football Club has issued a statement saying that it's not really authorised to say very much about this while the SIA continues its investigations, but as soon as those investigations are concluded, it will be able to update all of its supporter base. And definitely these are quite serious allegations, and Joel Smith does face quite a hefty penalty if some of these are found to be actually true. So especially those trafficking allegations under the code by the AFL, anybody who is actually found to have trafficked a drug like cocaine faces a minimum of 4 years of ban, and if it is really serious, then it is a potential lifetime ineligibility. So quite a lot at stake here for the 27-year-old forward.
In Alice Springs, demand for dialysis is among the highest in the country, but patients are still facing countless challenges in making the kidney transplant list.
Dialysis clinic, this group of women is putting in the hard yards. They're endeavouring to stay fit, healthy and strong, hoping to make the wait list for a life-saving kidney transplant.
Feel happy, gonna be like good life, not in a stuck in a renal again, if we get a kidney.
Since December, physio Nikki Scholes-Robertson has been running fitness sessions through Purple House, an Indigenous-owned health service based in Alice Springs. She works with patients who are undergoing dialysis, a treatment that cleans people's blood if their kidneys are no longer working.
Just encouraging people to actually stay on the right track to try and get to that point where they're able to get a transplant.
For Nikki, this work is deeply personal. 10 years ago, she was diagnosed with a chronic kidney condition, undergoing dialysis for 9 months before receiving a kidney transplant.
That has really generated, I guess, a passion for making things better for other people who have to go through the same thing.
Experts say it can be difficult to make it on the transplant list. Patients have to stay fit, eat healthy, take medication and attend dialysis several times a week. And living in remote Central Australia can present additional barriers.
It's much harder for them to access services, it's much harder for them to, receive transplants.
But these women are determined to make it and hope their own journeys will help others.
I always talk in language, always when I go out, like visiting families, always telling family, you gotta be careful, do the right thing, take good food, healthy food, if you wanna be healthy, strong.
Working their way to a brighter future.
And that ends the news segment. Rex, what's the latest in sports?
Thanks, Carol. In sports,
We have Trans Highway 7's Cutters Yet to Announce squad and QRL to decide on Hunters home games. Stay tuned for the details after the break.
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated. Spanning 9 provinces, we pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy, so bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
New Fabuloso Multi-Purpose Cleaner with an irresistible fragrance that lasts all day long, creating a field of flowers in every corner of your home. With an irresistible fragrance that lasts and lasts all day long. Fabuloso Irresistible Fragrance.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennau, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
I want the PNG government to have that capability.
I cried and I did it.
Scope returns this Sunday with more in-depth stories of people, places, and events from around the country and region. Join Tracy Parr this Sunday at 7 p.m. for Scope on TV1.
Thanks for staying with us. The Trans Highway Rugby Sevens tournament in Morobe is scheduled to take place this Saturday in Lae, Morobe Province. President of Morobe Rugby Union, Lionel Kamiak, confirmed that a total of 18 teams in men and 6 female teams have registered to participate in the tournament. The Trans Highway Rugby Sevens tournament is a flagship program of Morobe Rugby Union that aims to connect provinces along the Okuk Highway and others to start the 2024 rugby year. The tournament provides an avenue for exposure where young athletes can showcase their skills and talents at the provincial tournament. This also gives the participating clubs in the Morobe Rugby Union competition to select and pick their best teams as they prepare for their season 2024. President of Morobe Rugby Union, Lionel Kamiak, expressed satisfaction for the 18 men's teams and 6 women's teams that will be participating in the tournament. Kamiak also extends gratitude for the overwhelming support from the sponsors. Pepsi Capital Rugby Union competition in Port Moresby is one of the sponsors supporting the event. It will send 2 of its administrators and 2 referees to help officiate the tournament. President of Capital Rugby Union, Corey Chen, said Capital Rugby Union is willing to help them deliver the event as it is good for them and rugby union in the country. Trans Highway Rugby Sevens will be a great footy feast for the weekend. The communities in Lae have been encouraged to go and witness the games at the St. Ignatius Kilage Stadium. Gate fees are 2 kina for kids, 3 kina for adults and 10 kina for vehicle passers. The much anticipated 2024 JT Nines tournament will not start as scheduled due to the wet surface of the field following heavy rains in the last couple of days. The games were scheduled to kick off on Thursday, 22nd February, which is tomorrow, but will not eventuate as planned. Tournament director Bagelo Solian advised that his staff will be pumping the waters out today to allow the surface to dry up faster. With multiple matches to be played consecutively over the 5 days, Solian said the surface needs to be dry in order to protect the grass on the field. They have now scheduled for Saturday or Sunday start. However, in the event the weather doesn't improve, the tournament will be further postponed to next week. The West New Britain Provincial Government Kimbe Cutters are in the process of finalising their training squad for the 2024 Digicel ExxonMobil Cup season. Despite an earlier squad list posted on social media, the coaching team is going through medical and fitness testing before they confirm the squad, while the club's aspiration in targeting and promoting young local talents to complement the season's players' consistency and being an issue for club, seeing players come and go over the past 2 seasons, various reasons.
Former PNG Hunters winger and Goria fullback Albert Paddock Jr. is now taking charge of the team after he was promoted from head trainer last season to head coach this year. Former coach Lucas Samak now assumes his new role as team manager and Hubert Vitolo trainer. With only 2 weeks into their training program, Coach Paddock said it's important that players go through proper medical and fitness check and IQ testing before they start full training. This week the focus is on fitness and conditioning, involving a lot of running with some basic skill drills as well. Approximately 25 players are starters, mostly local talents, getting through their paces whilst awaiting the arrival of other senior boys and a number of imports expected to arrive in the coming week. The Cutters will welcome back about 60% of their playing group from last year, with a number of young talents mainly from Kimbe Town and the Hoskins area. The new imports include Charles Souls, Galfiso, Jethro John Lahanis, Paul Ivan, and Caris Peter Gurius. Returning senior players are Jahogan, David Tefo, Alex Rova, Greg Kondowel, Francis Nasa, Edward Yukil, Richard Matu, Modex Guri, Victor Anis, Henry Liliket, while Richard Matu and Dixon Morrison are currently with the PNG Pukpuk Sevens training squad. Patak also confirmed that 2023 Goroka Lahanis veteran captain George Buka, who previously showed interest to join the Cutters in 2024 season, had chosen to remain with the Lahanis. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Queensland Rugby League aims to make a decision by the end of the week on whether to play the early round games of its statewide competition in Papua New Guinea after the rise in tribal fights in Angar, while the PNG Hunters are due to host winner Manly Seagulls in Port Moresby on March 9th in the opening round of the Queensland Cup. QRL Chairman Bruce Hartras said player safety would be paramount in the decision-making process.
The eruption of tribal violence in PNG's remote highlands on Monday led to Prime Minister James Marape handing arrest powers to the military. The QRL is understood to be monitoring the outcome of the opposition's party's no-confidence vote in Marape, which is slated to be considered by the Private Business Committee today. A QRL meeting with relevant stakeholders is scheduled for Friday. Hatcher said QRL would continue to liaise with the PNG Hunters over the developing situation as a player's safety is paramount. While he acknowledged the importance of rugby league in the country, he is also cautious of risks in playing there. QRL will make a final decision later this week based on the advice they get from the security organisations and the Australian High Commission. The NRL has plans to bring a PNG side into an expanded competition. Australian Rugby League Commission Chairman Peter V'landys said at the North Queensland Cowboys season launch last week that the organisation was starting to lean towards basing it in Papua New Guinea after it was earlier mooted the side could be headquartered in Cairns. The safety of players would be vital for that to occur. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The countdown begins for the first ever NRL-sanctioned rugby league match in Fiji, where the Melbourne Storm will meet with Newcastle Knights. The match will be played this Saturday at Churchill Park in Lautoka, which will also be the Storm's second trial preparation for the 2024 season.
Tell a story about Newcastle.
Melbourne Storm arrived in the country last night ahead of Saturday's hit-out against the Newcastle Knights. The team will spend the week connecting with the local Fijian community, engaging with schools and local rugby league clubs to provide inspiration and a pathway for those wanting to play in the NRL. Upon arrival last night, Fiji international and Melbourne Storm star forward Tui Kamikamitha provided a brief on the team and how they are looking forward to embracing the Fiji fans and culture. Storm will also wear a special design training t-shirt during the week, and the match ball will carry traditional Fiji artwork to recognize the significance of the match.
At the moment I'm wearing like our training shirt for the week. So as you can see, this is the traditional design. We call it here, it's Masi. It's pretty well known here in Fiji, so I'm pretty happy with the design because it represents a culture and custom for Fiji. As you can see, there's all Fiji Masi right there.
Storm plays the Newcastle Knights in the pre-season match at Churchill Park in Lautoka on Saturday, 2:45 p.m. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That's all we have for sports. Carol.
Thank you, Rex. And before we go to weather, lay residents have been encouraged to report rogue police officers. Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police for Northern Command, Chris Kunyanban, made this call after he was advised of an assault on private citizens by a police officer.
On the afternoon of Friday, the 16th of February, a company vehicle in Lae was doing drop-off when two of its staff were assaulted in the middle of Milford Haven Road near the Bridgestone Tyres tyre shop. The incident stemmed from two near collisions between the 15-seater drop-off bus and a blue Nissan single cab along Markham Road near the Mangola Drive roundabout. The driver of the blue single cab hurled obscene words at the company vehicle, where one of the female staff responded in kind. The driver of the blue single cab followed closely behind from Mangola Street, past the main market and turned right towards Malaita Street. He blocked them off at the Milford Haven Road roundabout next to Hastings Deering. There, he opened the window where the female staff was sitting and punched her twice in the face. He then moved to the driver's side, opened the door, pulled out the driver and beat him up, all in view of the after-work traffic at Lae's Industrial Hub. The staff then went to the Top Town Police Station to file their complaints, only to find out that the offender was a policeman there. His colleagues intimidated the civilians and even threatened to assault them the second time. The police officer on duty refused to write the complaint down, instead discouraging the female staff by saying there is an 80% chance the magistrate will throw her case out and would instruct her to pay the offender. When told of the situation, Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police for Northern Command, Chris Kunyanban, said if they cannot get help there, residents can always go to his office at the Somu Sigob House.
The office is a public office. We will have anybody for any matter regarding this type of issues. And such allegations, if not entertained by our supervisors, brings on board further put it up on us, and we will see how best we can handle the situation. And one thing on this type of issues, public should be reporting those rogue policemen. Not only that, they are taking money from the public, and we keep on asking the public. Public are reluctant to tell us what is happening or give us a statement on that issue. So if we do that, if we do not report it, we are encouraging those policemen to keep on doing the wrong thing, and public will come on and complain again to us.
Camila Guare, TV1 News, Ley.
And now the weather forecast. Southern regions scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain over Oro. Port Moresby mostly cloudy with some showers. Homate scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain over Morobe and Medang. Ley rain at times. New Guinea Islands scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul and Kimbe partly cloudy with few showers. Highlands scattered showers and thunderstorms. Goroka, Barnes, Kundiawa, Mendi, Tari and Wabeg some showers with possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast. Coral and Bismarck seas see slight to moderate with west to northwest winds of 10 to 20 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, Kerema, Yule Island, Hood Point to Samare Islands, to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands, seas 1 to 2 meters. And that wraps up another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Have a safe evening. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.